Before y'all say anything, I know I got it chopped. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's already gone. It's already gone. Let's just hope I don't look like an idiot in the next week before I go back to school. But today we're not talking about haircuts. We're talking about how you need to learn to know what you like and why it's so important to know what you like. What I mean by that is, all of us have something about us that we, whether it's things we enjoy to do, places we like to go, experiences we like to have, or things that we can really see ourselves doing versus what we can't see ourselves doing. And I just think it's so important to be aware of that and accept it, because that's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. If you liked everything that everyone else did, if you did what everyone else did, then what makes you unique, right? And I kind of talked about this in the last video, is that it's okay to stand out, and it's easy to stand out when you just learn to not always want what everyone else wants, because most of the time I feel like a lot of people just want really what isn't good. It's usually stuff that's gonna give them some short-term satisfaction, these earthly things, materialistic things, that's only gonna give them a short gratification. And obviously this is not the way to live if you want to walk with God, because God is eternal, and whenever you focus on these short-term materialistic things, they're gonna only last you so long. So what's gonna happen whenever they're gone? They'll be gone, and then what? Are you gonna allow yourself be so attached to this thing that you don't know how to let go of it, or that you don't know how to function without it? No, you're your own person. You've got your own mind, your own abilities to do things, right? So you're gonna do what you want to do. And so it's important to know what you like and what you don't like. Now, an example would be like, for me, I personally, I'm using this because I'm in college. I'm not a big partier. I don't really like the party scene a whole lot. Obviously, I'll get out sometimes, and I'll have my fair share. I think it's good to have some sort of balance in your life. Obviously, that's very minimal, though. For me, I just don't. That's not really my calling. I get it. People like having fun. Me, I don't really like that scene a whole lot. But with that being said, I'm very aware of this. I'm very aware that I just don't like that. I never really did, and that's okay with me. I personally would choose a lot of other things over than drinking and go to a party, and I'm aware of that, and I've accepted that. It's been like that for a while now, because I know that when I put myself in those situations, it can make me uncomfortable, and it just kind of turns me into someone who I'm not. And I'm not saying all this because you're not able to change and learn to like other things, or that you shouldn't learn to like things that are good for you. Obviously, this is an example. Partying, generally speaking, it's not good for you, just because of all the things that it can lead to. Generally speaking, it's not ideally good for you. But I'm not saying that because you shouldn't learn to adapt into liking things that are good for you. Of course you should do that. Of course you should learn to try new things, get yourself out of your comfort zone. Of course you should learn to try things that are good for you. But I'm just saying that there's certain things that we know we like and we know we don't like, and we have a very strong idea of that. And I like to think that's a part of your purpose. And this goes what I was saying earlier. If you follow what everyone else does, if you try and go down someone else's path, it could really put you in the wrong direction, because your path is unique. God's created your path specifically designed for you, and not anybody else. And it's important to acknowledge that. You have your own path to go down. You shouldn't always worry about what other people are doing and try and follow them, because it's only going to get you so far, and you might not even like where you end up. And I've learned that several times after trying to idolize someone or want to be like someone. You learn very quickly that they live their own life, and you can't just always want to do what they're doing, because that's meant for them to do, not you. So you gotta figure out what that is. Take the time to think about these things that you like or you don't like, and just accept it, because that's what makes you you. It's what makes you unique. And again, obviously, it's important to want to grow. It's important to want to get out of your comfort zone. In fact, I don't really think that you can grow or succeed in life without, trying new things and getting out of your comfort zone. Everyone's definition of success is different for the most part, but I don't think you can stay in your box, your entire life without trying new things, because that's how you learn. That's how you experience, things in this world, is by, like personally, like I knew that public speaking, it's one of the biggest fears that everyone has, I think. It was a fear of mine because I never really did it. And so it always scared me. But, one day I had to give a presentation at school, and I knew that I had to do it at some point. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to get good at this at some point if I want to be someone who I can envision myself being like, which is someone, who's a leader. And, you got to be able to lead people. Talking in front of people is a, high quality for leadership. And, I realized that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to do it at some point. And, that mindset of just wanting to kind of, knowing that I'm in a, here's the circle, right? And I'm right here in the middle. Knowing that I wanted to get out of that circle is what, gave me the motivation to actually get up and do it. And obviously, you can't learn or can't get good at it if you don't practice, if you don't do it many times. And so that was another thing that I was processing, is like, you know what? If I want to get good at this, I'm going to have to just keep doing it. So there's no reason to be scared. It's all part of learning. It's all part of the process. And, sure enough, I do it pretty frequently now. I'm serving at a restaurant. So, whether you think about it like that, it's public speaking. I was leading a Bible study group for my fraternity. That's public speaking every week in front of 10, 12 guys. Had to give a speech when I ran for vice president for the fraternity. Just little things where it's like, well, since I had that mindset of I got to do it more and more to get better at it. If this is something I want to do, I got to practice it. I got to get better at it. And having that mindset just keeps you so open to opportunities where you can grow in that area. So, kind of getting a little off topic here, because there's kind of just two main points. Is just know what you like, don't be afraid to grow. Know what you like, know what you don't like, but don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and try things that are good for you. Try things that are good for you. And if it's something that isn't good for you, that's okay. Don't even worry about getting into it. And personally, it's being in college, it's really hard to not give into these things sometimes, just because it influences so many people around you. It's such a big influence in that scene that it's hard to escape it sometimes. But that's when you just got to say no, You got to be able to say no sometimes. Or yes to good things. But you got to be able to learn how to say no sometimes, because if you know that you don't want to do that, if you know you shouldn't be doing it, sometimes the best thing to do, the most mature thing to do, is just say no, even if they don't want you to think that. Sorry, I had to finish my coffee before it got cold. It's getting cold. Man, look at this scenery, though. Thumbnail? No, I like this spot, Get some shade early morning before it gets super hot. It's getting super hot today. It's going to be like 95. But anyways, just learn to say no sometimes, because I think doing it over and over, you'll start to become a lot more comfortable, and that's just not me. And now I'm at the point where I had to learn to do it just so much, to the point where I'm just okay. Like, I don't really care about going to parties anymore, just because I know that that's not my thing. But it also makes it easier it makes it more enjoyable, I guess, to, maybe go out once in a while and just, experience it for a little bit. Because when you don't do it for so long, it's like, well, if you did it every week, then it's like, how would that even be fun? You're not even really enjoying it anymore. But when you take those breaks, just tell yourself no, because it's not a part of you. That's not something you do. So when you do it, it's like, and you don't do anything crazy, because you shouldn't. So yeah, just being aware of what you like and what you don't like is super important, I think, in really finding yourself and growing. Because another thing is that whenever you go all in with the things that you do like, or the things that you do enjoy, or that you want to do, when you go all in with those things, all the opportunities that open up are going to be tied to those things that you're doing. So, that goes for good or bad. if you're always going to parties, if you're always giving into these, you know, bad habits like drinking or drugs or whatever it might be, if you're always giving in these habits, then opportunities are gonna arouse from those habits. But if you close that door and you go a different direction, the only way to go is down that path, right? So opportunities are gonna come out of that path. So it goes both ways. I hope that's making sense. I feel like I explained that well, but again, you never really know sometimes. Because whenever you're only focused on going a certain direction, when you're focused on going a certain way, and that's the only path you're taking, then only what you're focused on, you can only get good from that. If it's down the good path, you're only going to get good from that. Of course, there's going to be like obstacles along the way, but ultimately it's something that you need to keep going down that path. So it's like, why even think of it as a bad thing, you know? But, you know, if you don't become aware of this and you're going down a wrong path, a bad path, then there's going to be more opportunities to do more bad things. And that's when it can get scary for some people, you know, that's when it can get hard. I think that's when a lot of people find themselves in trouble. They'll be like, okay, I've been doing this for so long now, I need to make a change. But they're already so far down, it's hard to. It's really hard to, because that's been their life. That's been their life. So it's like they don't know anything else, right? That's another topic we can talk about, is, you know, how you can get out of that cycle of thinking that this is all you need to do. Ultimately, it just starts with the mindset. Whenever you think of yourself as that person that does that, and not the person that does this, then of course you're going to keep going down that path. But that's for another video. I hope that made sense, just clearing that up. But that's the main point for today, is just to know what you like, what you don't like, and to always want to pursue the path of good. Pursue the path of good, and expose yourself to those opportunities, expose yourself to that uncomfortable situation, because that's where you grow, that's where you learn. So I hope y'all take that with you however you might. And yes, I appreciate y'all watching this video, and I appreciate the support. We're coming up on 100 subs. It's been fun now that I'm actually getting active on YouTube. You know, it's exciting to see you know, we're almost at 100 subs. But if you made it to the end of this video, I just want you to comment something that you think, you know, I could improve, I could do better, or that you might want to see more out of this channel. I kind of want to get some more feedback, just so that I can kind of know how I'm doing and what you guys think. I think some of you are enjoying it for sure, so I will continue to keep that energy, keep that vibe. And yeah, just let me know in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Appreciate it.